Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? So we're here today. Hold on, I gotta turn this. That's not how I turn it. We're at another mill. This is the original. This company I work for, this is their original mill. The one they've had for, I don't know how many years. But I've sent logs in here before I worked for them, used to sell logs to them. I passed through this mill one time, and what did I do? I was just in a truck looking. So now to be able to walk around is gonna be pretty cool. In this building, what I'm gonna do is same thing. I gotta watch there's a lot of Amish that work here, and I wanna respect their beliefs, so I gotta watch I don't get nobody's faces in the camera if I can help it. But so what we'll show you is in that building there, here's your debarker here, rotary debarker. It's not running right now, but I'll go by and show you how it works. And then inside where that little buggy is right now, there's two head rigs. Both here they run circle rigs, and they have a bandsaw, wood miser band mill in the building there. But and they have another type of mill over here too. Sorry, I got a lot, trying to make sure I don't miss anything. But I'll try to go through the process from start to finish. I'll try not to cut the camera off. There's two logs over here I want to show you too. I'm gonna buy off of them. They're pretty cool. But we got some stuff piled here. Looks like we got some black oak and soft maple, excuse me, cherry. Ooh, that one's all busted up. Cherry, locust, some is that soft maple? Yeah, I thought that might have been black birch, but it's not. Let's look at these. Some stuff there. There's poplar right here. Next pile in's aspen, the furthest pile is poplar. That's all poplar there. That's just mixed stuff. This stuff came from like a tree service. There's a great big pin oak log I wanted to show you. And I'm sorry if I'm gonna be hard to hear at times. I'll do my best. I haven't had a chance to get a microphone. But look how fast that was growing. 5/8 of an inch. That thing was growing 1.25 inches in diameter a year, even over here almost 3/4. But they'll saw this. They have what's called a Lucas mill, and I'll show you. But there's these two logs here. I'm gonna buy these two. That's like a cedar of some type. I've been looking for one of these for a while, but I saw that come in on the truck and I wasn't gonna pass it up. There's some more of it over there. But what did that? That almost looks like it got cut by a mulcher or something. Hit with the mulcher. But so let's go over here and we'll show you the debarker. Do the debarker first. So a lot of logs will come in here, they call them scrag poles. If you ever see me do the scrag poles, they'll be full like 16 to 25 foot logs. And what they'll do is they'll cut it up. There'll be a guy sitting in here, he'll cut it all up. Then they'll feed it onto this debarker here. This is your feed roller here. And then right here, there's a bark chain, carries your bark out. And then right there, those fingers, as that log's spinning, or as that log's going through, getting fed through, this roller will come down and hold it, and that'll spin, and them fingers will be on there, and they I don't know how you want to say it. It's like a diaphragm. They come down on the log as it's spinning, and it rips that bark right off of them. It's pretty slick. Let's go over here. He's filling that up. There's a nice black oak, but pretty growth rings. But that'll feed the bark out here off the bark chain. A pile here, and then they can make a pile there of it. That's sold off for mulch and what have yous. Your sawdust bins here. So as they're milling, all the sawdust gets pulled out of there, all those, and dumps it here. They sell that. And here's your wood chips. That's where all your slabs and waste goes through the chipper and the shaker. Same setup as they had at the other mill. It goes into there. Now we'll go in here to the head rig. Got a couple. Here's the rotary debarked logs. It does some better than others, obviously. Like this one here didn't get all the bark off. Like it cleaned that one up good, that one there. can see the what's that called? You can see the rotation, the rotary of the knives. Another feed chain. Some cherry. The hollow hickory. Soft maple. Let's go in here. Now if I hold the camera funny, I apologize. Like I said, I gotta watch, I can't get nobody's head. I don't want to get anybody's face. I don't know. I think they're running a frick mill. I'm not sure. I'd have to ask Terry. real quick while I'm here. This is called a Lucas mill. So anytime they get this really big, really knobby shit that they can't do anything, can't run it through that head rig, it comes back here. And that's the mill that you basically set up over top of the log. And they can go back and forth and cut it into cans. So a lot of the times this is about what they cut. This looks to be about a 3x5 or a 3x6. I think that's a 3x6. And stuff like this here, that looks like pin oak there. This is some type of pine. I'm guessing that looks like spruce, Norway spruce. We have soft maple and other things here. Soft maple, oh, more oak, pin oak. That there's a big ugly soft maple. So that's what they do with that kind of stuff. Now, I don't know if this one here, if they're gonna try to do that with it or not, but boy, that's about the ugliest thing you could ever ask. Why that even ended up here, I don't know. But it looks like they'll mill it into something. You know, these logs here, I'm guessing these are bridge mat logs. These will be sawn into timbers to make bridge mats and stuff. Reason being is because they're so long. I could be wrong, that's just my guess. These are all oak. There's another black birch. The funny thing I was saying about the black birch is it will it's very, like, you can use that medicinally. You can look up on YouTube, there's a birch sapping, there's a video on that. It's a great video. So basically in the spring, if you were to cut a birch tree down, you could scrape underneath the bark, the cambium layer. You peel the bark, scrape that, you mix it with sugar, and you can boil it down and make candies out of it. It has a real, like, I don't know what the flavor, it's not minty, but I'm looking for the word. But either way, so here's them two. I'm gonna get milled. They're gonna be done on the wood miser over here. You gotta excuse me, I gotta use the blue box real quick. I gotta take a leak. All right, sorry about that. I drank a big iced tea on the way here. So this is like side lumber and stuff. We have some soft maple. I can't tell what that is. That looks like gray elm. That I think is gray elm. Yeah, that's gray elm. This here is soft maple, soft maple. Here's a black birch. There's more. No, that's beech. I'm sorry, that's beech. See, that would be a scrag pole there. They get hauled in random lengths, and then they'll cut them to the lengths desired here. I think the shortest thing they can do on the head rig is 6 feet. Now, I don't know. On the Lucas mill for big stuff, they can do shorter, but I don't know what the shortest material they take is. This here is all soft maple. They have the band mill because they can, obviously they can mill real long stuff on it. I think it's the big reason, but they can cut other stuff on it too. This is just an electric wood miser LT15. That's not electric. It's got a gas motor. I'm sorry. Too many things going on at once. side, he adjusts the length, sets it, come out and cut into these cants. It's like you have 5 foot stock, probably 5, 7, 8. Each one has a different dimension. Here, these will probably all get resawn. Everything has a home. This is like where your this is where your oddball stuff goes. This will be like pallet runners and stringers and things like that. There's some poplar. This is all soft maple. I believe that's 8 foot lumber too. Well, no, it's not all soft maple. It's red oak there. You see this? When we cut a soft maple and you see them, those marks in the end, excuse me, that's what they look like once you mill the log. Makes really beautiful flooring. This is probably just going to be pallet stock. If they get an order for it, they'll hold it. You have all your pre-cut bands. You got red oak, aspen, red oak. That is black birch. More red oak. And more black birch. Just give you an idea what you're looking at on some of this. That is a type of elm. That would be your gray elm. Soft maple. Oh man. That one's got me. That's a type of oak. Almost looks like water oak. More soft maple. But everything's got a home, man. It's pretty wild. Go through. So this here is what they call a package saw. Once you get a whole package of lumber, a whole bundle, it'll come over into here. You set it up on this. You bring it over and you square one end up. The saw comes down, makes all the ends even. And the saw will slide out further to a perfect dimension and it'll saw it down through. So if you're cutting like a whole bundle of ties, it'll make them all the right length, or a whole bundle of lumber. Because logs go in, they're not all exactly the same length. You'll have some that's like 8'6" and some that's 8'9", or 10 foot, 11 foot, just oddball stuff shows up. So that's how they can do that. Take you around and show you. I wanted to show you these over here. These are pretty cool. So these here, these were cut into, I believe, railroad ties. These were bundles of ties, but the stalk was longer than the tie length. The tie length is 8'6", exactly. They won't take a 1/2 inch under or 1/2 inch over. They're very, very picky. So what they'll do is if they have a whole pile of like longer stuff, this would have obviously been probably 10 foot material, maybe 10 foot, 12 foot stuff. You had longer material, so they cut the length they needed, and these are left over. Now these will all go through the resaw and they'll make pallet material out of them. But like looking here, that is, I don't know what that one. That's a soft maple. There's sweet gum, hickory, more soft maple, red oak, black oak. That's, believe it or not, is an ash log. Wonder where that came from. Must be up north somewhere. Well, northeast. Don't see too much ash, but look at all the lumber. It is impressive. And then they got a resaw room over here where they'll cut a bunch of cants of a certain size or stuff like that, and it goes through this, and this has vertical saw blades in it, circle saw blades. I think they're cutting pallet runners right now that they're roughly 6 inches wide by, like, I think it's 1/2 inch or 5/8 thick. But they're real long. It's long stock. So they'll feed it into there, and the saws are running this way. They'll get a bundle of timbers, they feed them in, they saw them out. Waste goes in over there. There's another little resaw there, but I'll do this and then I'll show you. I'll take you in so I don't have to talk. And then the finished stock they're saving stays on the left here in the cart. Turn that can into a bunch of little boards real fast, like, too. So I don't know, I hope you guys think that was pretty cool. It's neat to get to tour this one. We got one more on the trail, well, maybe two, but we definitely got one. That's the one where I send a lot of my logs to personally. Some have come here in the past couple jobs, but the bulk of mine goes to a mill a little further north of this because I cut a lot of grade material. So sometimes on jobs I'll separate out the stuff that would come here. It's all in what the people in charge want to do. So they tell me, hey, when you get to this job, you're going to cut this, this, and this, send it to this place, and that, go to that place, and then you know how it works. So, but all right, everybody, hope y'all enjoyed.